Okay, it's become quite apparent for quite some time now that Shonen Jump has definitely been a bit more favorable and more lenient into putting out darker series. When you get stuff like The Promised Neverland and a lot of the manga that have been recently surfacing that show a little bit of a darker tone to the series, you're like, okay, Shonen Jump is invested finally in, putting out some darker series, more mature storytelling and all of that jazz. I think a lot of it, to be honest with you, I will credit to Attack on Titan's explosion that made Shonen Jump look and say, well, wait a minute, maybe we don't have to always go the same exact route that is inspired by like Fist of the North Star, Dragon Ball Z, Saint Seiya and all that. Maybe we could go a darker route. And Chainsaw Man, in my opinion, is Shonen Jump's somewhat version of a like Berserk type of series. The arc that we just recently finished with the Gun Devil and Santa Claus and all that shit, in my opinion, was like the eclipse in Berserk. Hands down, just some of the most darkest shit. You would never believe that Shonen Jump is allowing some psychotic nut job storytelling like this in it, but it's so good, so worth it, and definitely a step in the right direction for putting out some very interesting, intense, and all around insane manga. Because Chainsaw Man, there's just so many elements, so many twists and turns. The way the story even is presented at first, if you've seen my early video about Chainsaw Man and why it was greatness, I was like, yo, it's kind of like a Gintama type of thing. It's comedy, but it gets serious from here on in. That's like the tone that it starts off with. You got some crazy gags of like kissing and vomiting and mouths and all sorts of weird shit that is like, this is nuts, but it's funny, and the slice of life moments felt like, okay, it's cool, whatever. As it progressed, and then if you check out like my video that I made at the top of this year, January, I was like, yeah, it got really dark, where you get the stuff where Reze, I believe that's what her name is, and oh god, I love that whole dynamic, that character, the relationship with Denji, how she went out. To be honest with you, I got very, very emotional with the Reze stuff. So you got, again, it takes a twist and a turn, and it seems as though like it just doesn't stop getting even darker, because when you get to the Santa Claus and everybody trying to assassinate Denji and Makima, and then the latest stuff in the manga, Chainsaw Man, if they handle the anime properly, this could be a step in a whole new direction for Shonen Jump. Because Chainsaw Man right now, Makima, let's talk about this manga, baby. I'm excited. Let's do it. Some more Chainsaw Man.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move.
That's how it be, though. So to be honest with you, I've been dying to talk about Chainsaw Man for a while now. It's been like every week I'm like, I'm gonna finally do it. It's been a while, I'm gonna finally do it. But man, has it been one hell of a ride. And I love it because it's like every arc up until the latest stuff where it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a little too dark now, we're not even playing with that shit anymore. It starts off with like Makima making a promise with Denji, like, hey, I'll give you a kiss, I'll go out on a date with you, whatever, if you get this shit done. I'll give you one wish if you could get this done. And once we closed off the Reze stuff, which really started giving us an idea of how dark Makima was, like throughout the series, you see little by little, like if you even really think about it, she basically told Denji, you're my dog, from like the very early on stages. But as the series progressed, you see this shorty Makima that at first I didn't know how to take her. I didn't know if she was, oh, maybe she's just good, she's a little bit rude, or she's just a little bit strong-minded or whatever. And as it progressed, and then once you get to the top of the year, or the end of last year actually, the chapters where she murders Reze, when Reze's about to run off with Denji and shit like that, I was like, no, irredeemable. I don't care. Nope, irredeemable. Because oh my god, I ain't gonna lie, to open up my year and in my own personal life, it was very, very eerie. And I know probably people think, oh, you're looking too much, whatever, it's my life, I do what I want. Just seeing like the way the Chainsaw Man manga ended at the end of last year and my personal life opening up this year, it kind of hit me harder than probably most people, because seeing Reze's death and everything, and then at the hands of Makima, it made me hate Makima off rip. Like, that's it. I don't think I could ever like Makima, and who knows, maybe she could change my mind. But everything I've seen, even moving forward, even into the latest stuff of how she's commanding the angel, and just Aki basically telling her like, yo, we want to sit this one out, Denji, Power, and myself, or I want to sit them out, and her saying, oh, you can sit it out if you want to, but Denji and Power, nah, they going full blown into this shit. I'm like, Makima, Don't make me feel like how I feel about Rachel from the Tower of God about you, motherfucker. Alright? Like, don't do it because you're on the borderline. You're on the fucking borderline, bitch. Okay, yeah, I'm a little bit too hype about this shit, but Chainsaw, man. Let's switch gears a little bit and we'll go back to Makima in a second, because one of the big things that have been slowly but surely progressing is the door that Denji must not open, that Pochita has told him, like, yo, don't open this door or whatever, and what the hell is on the other side of it. To be honest with you, all I could think of for the most part is like some shonen cliches. Like, there's a possibility of it being something totally different, but I look at it as maybe it's like the door of, you know, Naruto in his mind with Kurama, like, never open the gate because the nine-tailed fox is gonna come out, and maybe what's behind that door is Pochita in his true form, because we haven't seen Pochita in ages, and I highly doubt we're going to close off 2020 with Chainsaw Man without seeing the return of Pochita. Pochita is probably inevitably going to make a return, and it's probably going to be Denji opening that door. Like, things have gotten real serious. You know, we had all these assassins that were coming for his neck, and it got close, to be honest with you, and we see even that dream where he got close to the door and he didn't open it. But the only thing I'm thinking is, like, maybe that'll be the true form. If Denji is just sought after and there's something real special about him and his devil power and Pochita or whatever, probably on the other side of that door is just the most disgusting monster, or it'll be funny and it'll be like the most cute looking monster, but it's the most deadly of it all, and it'll probably turn Denji into maybe an irreversible monster that it'll take God knows what to turn him back, something along the lines of that, where Denji probably will never be the same again. But again, I can't really wrap my mind around something other than it being like a similar cliche to like a Kurama from Naruto coming out of the gate, like, don't open that door. I mean, it could possibly be something a little bit different, like, you know, the zones from Kuroko no Basket, like, don't open the gate because if you get it beyond that door, then, like, you know, it's incredible strength and all that stuff. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, it'll be that Denji will be like unstoppable. Like, if this is a devil that all of them are after and Makima keeps him very close by her side, it's because it's incredible strength, probably dangerous, and who knows, maybe he's capable of blowing up the world. We've seen in the latest chapter the deal that was struck by the president to just start shooting people in Japan and shit. So if Denji is even more fierce than the gun devil and that monstrosity that he is, probably something that you really don't want to open that door. And when it is opened, ooh, Pochita's return is not going to be pretty by any means. We've seen time and time again, Chainsaw Man is no holds bar, no punches pulled when it comes to will kill your favorite characters. I mean, we've seen some of our favorite characters even early on getting massacred and killed, and it's like, oh no. And I love at the same time, while it's getting serious, it's gotten really freaking dark. There's still elements that keep it like, you know, you really love these characters. Like, I will say hands down, Chainsaw Man is one of the best new manga at handling characters. It probably is the best new manga at handling these characters and making you really enjoy and appreciate them and grow an attachment to them. Like, when after the Gun Devil incident, where, you know, Power is basically like traumatized and having these nightmares and seeing her interactions with Denji and how Denji has to be by her at all times, which is vastly different from the Power that started off. Power was kind of like, you know, a bitch in a way, and it's just like mean and all of that shit. She wasn't the nicest. And then to see the relationship and the bond that she created with Denji, and then seeing Aki as well, a part of all of that, and him having like a big brotherly role and housing them, and even after having that premonition, he tried his best to stop things, and Makima of course didn't let it happen, because imagine, you know what I'm saying, he's seen the future, and the future is telling him that, yo, Denji, the dude that you're housing and protecting and caring about, is going to kill you and Power. And if it's between these three people, Aki, Power, and the Angel, kill the Angel before the other two. I'm sorry, like, don't get me wrong, I rocks with the Angel too. Like, all these characters, it's just, they're really great characters, but I don't want that dynamic to be ruined. Like, I'm starting to feel like, again, there's still elements of a Gintama-esque type of scenario within this series where Aki, Power, and Denji, it kind of feels like a Gintoki, Shinpachi, and Kagura type of scenario, type of dynamic between the three of them, and you kill one of them, is like, oh. And I know that the editor of this manga is probably pulling him back, like, yo fam, you can't just keep killing off all the characters, what are you doing? Not that he's doing it gratuitously and without, you know, reasoning, like some Makima got killed type of shit. Like, there's a lot of reasoning, and it's very impactful when it happens, but I don't know. And jumping back to Makima, because I know I'm all over the place with this, but in the recent chapters, we got the president of the United States, and somebody told me that this manga, and I can't remember if this is true or not, but it takes place in like the late 90s, like 97, so that's probably Bill Clinton. At first I thought it was Trump. I mean, kind of sound the same anyway, that he was able to and willing to and actually went through with sacrificing a year of every American citizen's life in order to attempt to kill Makima. He made a pact with the gun devil. I will give you 1 year of every American citizen's life if you shoot this bitch down. And oh god, the end of the latest chapter, it's sick, it's crazy, and I'm not glorifying by any means like guns and murder and shit like that. It's just I can't believe that I'm seeing this shit in Shonen Jump. And you know, some people say, oh, don't bring politics into it. From my observation, just quick, want to throw this in there, it definitely seems that there's a political statement in this series on gun control. That's just me. Again, I'm not getting deep into it. If you disagree, fine, but I definitely feel as though that's kind of somewhat of a message of like the gun devil. Coincidentally, you know, the deal is made from the United States where there's tons of guns and Japan doesn't have any, and Japan, you know, the Japanese people are slaughtered, and you just see the names. I wish I could have taken more time, and I just don't have the type of time to research all the names and if there's any clues or hints to any future story developments of like all the people that were killed by the gun devil. But it was brutal, and that monster looks absolutely disgusting, but I highly doubt that Makima was killed either. She's too resilient. I mean, we even get the revelation in this one that she is actually seemingly a devil, because the president says to kill the control devil Makima, and just shortly before that, she actually went to the angel. She was having a discussion because the angel was disagreeing with her, and she said to the angel, give me your all from now on, which it was a command. So she's seemingly a devil, which would make sense because we've seen her murdered on the airplane, you know, arcs ago, and she was somehow around. So she's a devil, which all her acts have shown thus far, like what she did to Reze, everything that she's been showcasing, like, yeah, the bitch is kind of a devil. And the more I think about it, like, yeah, you're on that Rachel Tower of God status. I might fucking hate you, Makima. I mean, the Reze stuff alone, but then like seeing what, like, you know, you're forcing Aki, Power, and Denji to be a part of this suicide mission once again. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I'm curious who she was talking to in the latest chapter. And I say latest chapter, I believe the latest chapter was like 75, 76, when all this went down with the president and the gun devil and everything. And we see a shot of Aki, Makima, and the angel, and she's saying come to, and I don't know if she was talking to the gun devil. I don't know who the hell she was talking to, or if they were all three murdered, because there's a possibility as well, like she's in heaven now talking to, like, I don't even know, like it's just freaking crazy. And like, you know, even going back to the arc with Santa Claus and them where everybody got sent to hell, to be honest with you, that was straight up like Berserk, the eclipse, all the way people getting chopped up, people, I couldn't even describe, like I was lost, and in a very interesting way, not a bad way, like all the storytelling is horrible, which you could argue that maybe the storytelling could have been a bit more clear and precise on what the hell was happening. But during that whole scenario with Santa Claus and the puppets and everything, and them getting sent to hell, and Makima, what the hell even happened there? It felt like truly the eclipse from Berserk. Like, this is Shonen Jump's Berserk mixed with Gintama mixed with, yeah, you know what, it's fresh and original and dark. And Chainsaw Man right now, still to this point, I said it at the top of the year and I'll still say it, of all the newbies that have come out of Shonen Jump thus far, it is my favorite, hands down, my favorite newbie of the last like year or two to come out of Jump. It's dark, it's edgy, the characters, that's one of the best things about it. Like, it already has an interesting premise, you know, you got devils around, you gotta slay them, you got, you know, all these scenarios of whatnot, the powers or whatever, and that's all cool. But it's the characters that are just so well written that make you really like them and appreciate them, that makes you even want to read this even more. Like, I want to know more about what the hell is going to happen with Denji, what's behind the door with Pochita. I want to know if Power is going to survive Aki's premonition, if Aki's going to survive, what the hell is Makima really after, the control devil, so she's truly a devil, the president of the United States sending the gun devil, sacrificing a year of the people's lives. Like, there's so much shit in this manga right now that is so great, and if they handle the anime correctly and market it and do it all, this can be a massive success and a cult hit. I mean, they just did a poll recently, and Chainsaw Man was one of the series that people are really desperately anxious for an anime to come from it. And don't say I didn't tell you so when Chainsaw Man blows up. But I'm very curious what a lot of you guys think. For manga readers that are up to date with the Chainsaw Man manga, what do you think is up? Who was Makima talking to when she said come to? Do you think that they died at the hands of the gun devil? I highly doubt that. There's too much. There's plot armor there to a certain degree. Also, who do you think is going to die? You think all three of them? One of them, between the angel, Aki, and Power? Like, how would you feel? Like, I don't want Power or Aki to die. Like, if the angel died, I really wouldn't care that much, but then it wouldn't be as impactful. Like, that editor better strap up. Like, this is one of the times where I'm like, I actually don't want certain deaths to happen. Like, because it feels as though the Chainsaw Man author pulls no punches. It feels like it could happen to your favorite characters, but it's not excessive neither. Again, like Akame got killed, one of the most infamous manga to ever show death on a consistent chapter by chapter basis. Also, if anyone can break down what the hell happened when they were sent to hell in that Eclipse-esque event when they were hunting the Gun Devil and fighting against Santa Claus and Denji was being hunted down. Also, Power's trauma. Like, there's just so much shit to talk about. Please let me know what you're thinking of Chainsaw Man thus far, and if you haven't read the manga, I know I probably spoiled a shit ton of stuff in this video, but I highly recommend you go check it out. It is fucking incredible, amazing, and I hope this lasts a long time and it keeps on being at this quality, because Chainsaw Man is greatness, absolute greatness, and yeah, a lot of awesome shit. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and check out Chainsaw Man if you haven't. And manga readers, we are having a grand old time. This manga is amazing. Yeah.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave. Leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go, admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace.